Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. Well, hello tubers, hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy YouTube universe. Now I got some big updates on Carolyn's RV life because I am the #1 source of pure, honest, conservative news of Carolyn's RV life. I watch so you don't have to. Now the latest news came from her latest begathon. You know, she does the live chats to generate money because, you know, it's not funny. I always have to say that. Yeah, she does it always around the holidays. Don't despair, you friendlies, or unfriendlies as I call you, the followers of Carolyn. She's going to have a begathon probably on Christmas Day, like she always does, to get that money. She's always taking advantage of the holidays and people's bleeding hearts to just throw money around. Now, the good news was she didn't get as much money as she normally gets. She only got a few $100, but the funny thing is, giving money to somebody on YouTube, they take 30% commish right off the top. So my tip of the day to save money to help Carolyn more is just give her the money directly. That way there's no commish. Just send that money to Carolyn because she's going to need your money because there is a big announcement hidden amongst all that chit-chatting during the live chat. Remember the trip to Mexico? Well, that's off the table for this year. Off the table this winter. Gone. She says it's just too much work and I guess too much money. She didn't say it's too much money, but I could read between the lines because she says she needs to buy a van. So you friendlies, you better get out there and buy her a van so that she can take the van and go to Mexico. She also needs to have it built out. So you're going to have to put a nice bed, water supply, you know, all the things and accoutrements that she needs. Maybe a little solar on the top. She needs all that to go to Mexico. She ain't taking her RV. So, and what about the gas? Needs a lot of gas. She's over on the east side of the country right now, so a lot of gas to get over to Mexico, get down to Mexico. She needs your money. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Andrew, we're suffering from Biden inflation and we can't afford to send Carolyn down there to keep her into the perpetual vacation and lifestyle that she's been accustomed to. I understand you're thinking that. I get it. But I have the solution. You need a second or a third or a fourth job or you know, another side hustle so that you can send her the money because she's a woman who's accustomed to a certain perpetual lifestyle, you know, of vacationing. And it would be a complete tragedy. It would be kind of like what's happening at Twitter right now, where all the liberal snowflakes are resigning because they're not getting free lunches. They actually have to show up for work, and they have to do long hours. Yeah. And they have to do free speech now because of Elon. I'm actually going to do a video on that coming up, so stay tuned for that. My middle-aged take on the Twitter debacle. Another story, but it is kind of interrelated. So, she's not going to Mexico this fall. I think she only said she was going to Mexico because she got a sponsorship deal briefly with, what's that, Babbel. Yeah, with Babbel. So she kind of had to segue, hey, I'm going to Mexico, so I'm doing the Babbel. She just creates the narrative as she goes along to fit it. You know, it's like she's got a square peg and she needs a round hole for it to go through. So she cooks up a narrative, you know, makes the sponsors feel nice, and that's just the way it is. It's all hooey. We know it, you know it. Come on. You know, that's why when you see a celebrity pushing a product, you should always be a little more careful than when your best friend tells you about a product. If somebody I personally know says, hey, you should try this out, I go, yeah, because he's not trying to sell me something. Somebody I personally know isn't trying to sell me something, and they're giving me good advice out of, you know, friendship. They're not doing it to make a buck. Just my thoughts about celebrity or fake celebrity endorsements. But anyway, so Carolyn's got the money crunch, like I guess many people do. And she can't afford the van and the build out and all the gas to do the Mexico trip. So she says she might do it next year. Well, we'll see how much more money after the Biden inflation, you know, destroys more things over the winter. So, I don't know. And as for her joining me in the Philippines, I don't think so. I really don't think so. It's not going to work out for her. She's got too many young, hot Filipino ladies that she'd have to compete against. in the Philippines, so it really wouldn't work well for her. But that's just me thinking, you know, I really don't know. It's a crazy opinion I have. As for the other things she's got planned, let's see, the women's RTR. Yeah, okay, I went to the RTR in 2017. Carolyn, happened to be there at the same time as me. That was back when she was brown-nosing with Bob Wells to get a bump on her subscribers. And I guess Bob Wells has still distanced himself from her, you know, crazy liberal socialist rhetoric. So he's not endorsing her anymore. She says she's not going to the RTR, or not going to speak at the RTR, or the women's RTR. Now, I wonder about that, because nowadays we live in a post-truth society where women's RTR, we don't know what a woman is, or at least the liberals tell me that. Okay, so they don't know what a woman is. So I guess if I temporarily self-identified as a woman, I guess I could be welcome to go to the women's RTR in Quartsite, Arizona. But I really think she's not going because maybe Carolyn does not identify as a woman anymore. It could be. I don't know. That's the problem with the liberal agenda. Everything changes so quickly and I can't keep up. I don't know. They zig and then they zag, and I figure out the zig, but then they zag. You know, I can't follow because it's all made up as they go along. That's what the neoliberal socialist agenda is about. You make the rules up. You change the rules, you make it so that you can even contradict your own rules, and nobody calls you on it, right? But I'm just here as a truther to give you some perspective so that you can make up your own mind about these things. So there you go. There's some serious updates. Carolyn's not going to Mexico, not going to women's RTR, not going to be speaking at the RTR. But I guess if she really got into Bob Wells and the cheap RV living's graces again, and maybe she could do another, you know, talking session, you know, on the stage. Of course, she does need security for that. She needs escorts between her RV, and remember, you are not allowed to talk to her directly unless she decides you can. If it's a designated meet and greet time, you are allowed to look her in the eye and speak to her. If it is outside of an official event, you, sir, are not allowed to talk to her. That's the way it is, especially the men. Oh, us men are bad. Which makes me think, I need a volunteer security team. If I can get a volunteer security team that's willing to wear body cams, maybe I should fly down in January. If she does a last minute decision to show up, be great, because I don't want to be accused of saying or doing things that are untrue, because I'm a pretty peaceful person. And if I showed up there just to speak to Carolyn, it would be calm and respectful. But of course, the moment she sees my face, wing! Suddenly, alert, bad man, bad man. That's why I need a couple security guards. I don't know if anybody'd be willing to volunteer for that duty. Just to keep us all safe, keep everything true, you know? Because I just have a few questions for Carolyn, like, when's the grift over? When are you getting a job? You know, these are serious questions, like when are you just going to get a job? Because the economy's getting worse. It's getting harder to get a job. And of course, Twitter wouldn't hire her now because she's, you know, one of those people that are leaving Twitter. Yeah, Elon needs to hire more of us older people that just show up on time and don't need any free lunches or work from home deals. Anyway, you put your comments down below on what Carolyn's RV life is up to this winter, because doesn't look like she's up to much. It's going to be another sad winter. But do not despair. I predict, mark my words, she's done it most years, there's going to be a Christmas live begathon for her benefit. She's not even doing it for the downtrodden. No, she's doing it for herself. She don't kick that money over to the poor and the indigent. No. She is the poor and the indigent in her mind. So put your comments down below. Hope you're doing well. Beautiful day here in almost said Southern California. No, feels like Southern California because it's sunny. Southern British Columbia. Put your comments down below. Over and out.
I got you.